Wrong Turn is a 2021 American film directed by Mike P. Nelson and stars Charlotte Vega, Bill Sage, and Matthew Modine. It's a reboot of the 2003 film. It was even written by original series creator Alan B. McElroy, and it is I believe it's the seventh installment in the franchise. This time, though, instead of being stalked by a family of, inbred cannibal rednecks, the plot follows a group of friends encountering a primitive civilization known as the Foundation while hiking the Appalachian Trail. Now, some people were questioning the new direction of this reboot, which is odd to me because, that implies that the franchise has fans. And don't get me wrong, I own the entire series myself. Why? I'm not super sure, because it is for sure one of the worst franchises in horror history. I don't think there's a lot of debate there. And I think it's because I thought the first movie was solid. And I love the idea of inbred cannibal rednecks, just grinding through countless people. It's such a simple, easy concept. And yet almost all of these movies suck terribly. I honestly think that I kept buying them in hopes that they would get good again. But they just kind of never really did. I mean, I don't think... Beyond the first one, I don't think any of them are good. And even that first one, it's not great. It's not amazing. So when I did hear that there was going to be a reboot, I was pretty fucking interested. Would this be the one that turns things around? That was my thought. Well, let's see. The first thing I got to say that interested me was that the series creator and writer of the first film was back. He had nothing to do with any of the sequels, so it's cool to see what he had in store for his, second Wrong Turn film, really. And I thought it had a pretty bad start as soon as you play this thing. You're introduced to the main characters, a group of, you guessed it, early 20-something-year-olds hiking and not caring about any of the local rules. And I say it was a bad start because these characters are pretty unlikable. Jen, played by Charlotte Vega, is actually kind of a decent final girl, but the rest are awful. But I will say, as a kind of a positive, if it annoys you when, movies like this take a bit too long to really get going, rest assured because shit just goes down pretty quick here, almost surprisingly so, but it does work. This script definitely attempts to be more than a bloody redneck slasher, like the previous installments. In fact, I'd say that this isn't even really a slasher at all. And at times, the script does want to try and be a bit deeper than it really knows how to be, and I don't think that works necessarily. But when it does, it is addressing themes like, looking down on societies different than your own, and that is something I can definitely understand. So you have the group of friends, they're lost in the mountains, just as you assumed that they would. And you also have Jen's dad, played by Matthew Modine, which was interesting. And he's looking for them, while they're lost, little do they know. But back to Matthew Modine, man, I had not seen that dude since probably the 90s. But I did think he was pretty good here. He's trying to find his daughter and he's not going to let anything stop him. Appreciated his character. Bill Sage is also really good as the leader of the Foundation. And it's kind of a somewhat similar character to what he did in We Are What We Are from 2013, a movie that I really, really loved. And this reboot is clearly trying to be more than the previous franchise, which really never had any focus. This film is, like I said, it's trying to be deep at times. Doesn't always work. Some of it does, but some of it is really clunky. I did like the very, this is kind of a random thing, but I liked the very art film-esque ending. It almost seemed like an ending to a different movie, but it was a good ending and it was cool. I'm not sure if this storyline will continue, but I did read recently that there will likely be a sequel to this film. So I think that's, again, sign me up. I'll probably watch it. I'll probably buy the damn thing. That just seems to be what I do. So while far from perfect, this is easily the best of the series. It delivers on the shocking violence you would want, and I guess it just depends on what you prefer as far as storylines and styles. Do you want a civilized yet primitive society or inbred cannibal rednecks? I like both ideas, to be honest, but I honestly prefer the more crazy cannibals, type stories. Just done right. It's not that hard. So I guess the question is, which would you prefer? I'm giving Wrong Turn 2021 a 6 out of 10. Cheers, guys, and I'll see you at the multiplex.